days, counting all the ways I died. Everything I couldn't save, buried down, still half alive. It's got me crawling in my skin, but no one's coming out to hold me close. Pouring out the gasoline, yeah, I've been making friends with all these girls, and I got nothing left to lose. Fight to the future. It's not me to turn and run. Met the bitter truth and I choked it down. Left a bad taste on my tongue, but my appetite's been growing now. I can see you crawling in your skin, but no one's coming out to hold you close. I'm pouring out the gasoline, so say hello to all my ghosts. Moving like a shadow, you're walking in my dead zone. Breathing slow, ooh, love the hunt, love the high. Watching life fade from your eyes, ooh, and this is not a warning, this is not a test. I'm tuning on you and I'm coming for the rest.
I just got to take a second to digest this. Varus first pick. It's an interesting priority to take in there. It's not uncommon to see that, but I mean, taking it into quite a squishy comp, and as you rightly point out, Yasuo into what appears to be, I'm guessing that's Yasuo top, but they are double flex solo laners. They could go either way. I like the Yasuo a lot better into Syndra. This is a very spicy draft we got here.
Yeah, it's very spicy indeed. I would also, like you've mentioned, really love to see the Yasuo face into the Syndra. I also, from what I've heard, I think Aurora is quite an offensive champion into the Cassandra. So I assume we can expect the Aurora being up there in the top lane. I see the Ezreal being was picked up by the side of Deadly Lotus here. Champion that is very strong in the meta at the moment. Also something we see quite commonly in the higher leagues, and also the biggest comfort champion of oppression, the ADC on the side of Deadly Lotus. So I'm very excited to see what he can do with his range. Especially, yeah, if he can, is he able to poke around enough, or is he just going to get one shot by the Syndra Viego?
Yeah, I mean, all of this up in the air. I'm interested to see as well what kind of variety of Varus we get. Been seeing a lot more on hit recently, but I'm personally a bit more of a fan of the poke Varus. That kind of I will chunk you for half your health without you having anything to say about it, Varus. Especially into a team comp where you have an Aurora Yasuo, you don't have tanky solo lanes. The tankiest champs are your jungle who gets limited econ mid to late game, and your support limited econ the whole game. Like, if you can take that Varus, if he gets an early lead into this Ezreal, he will get mid prio for free, and he will bully you out of everything. Free dragon roams, free top bottom wherever he wants to go. He will control the tempo of this game if he can get ahead on the poke Varus. But if he takes it on hit, I kind of get it. But I think especially into this comp, you can basically force out a wind wall whenever you press Q.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the rare games on the Yasuo side where I don't think it would be too egregious to look for the how's that called? Navoris. It's something that is very rarely seen on the Yasuo pick. I think most famously known, there was a game where Caps ran it. If your biggest worry on the opponent team is the long range ability, something like Nautilus or the Scatter the Weak or the Chain of Corruption by the Varus, you can look for the Navoris and you just have more Windwall. And more Windwall is more good into a lot of long range abilities.
That does sound nice. That does sound very. I mean, yeah. How do you counter that though? Do you give up your extra tankiness from the shield bow? Or are you going like 3 crit items on Yasuo? You have some inbuilt kind of redundancies in there. Be interesting to see how we take this. But yeah, this is a very interesting draft. This game is evenly poised. I have to favor the front to back of INS. You have a Cassante on your team. I favor your front to back. But I mean, this game can go either way.
Yeah, I think I do think I agree with you with the overall. I think I slightly prefer the INS Academy draft here. It's very simple, very easy to play. I feel like that Deadly Lotus really has to kind of push their leads throughout the laning phases with the top and mid. I think if the Yasuo and the Aurora are unable to get ahead in the game, it's going to be very hard for them to play.
Absolutely.
But we are slowly heading into the game. One thing that I wanted to mention before we head there, with us mentioning that we want to see the solo laners on Deadly Lotus snowball and get a nice lead, the Vi is a very, very nice pickup with it, especially Vi paired up with the Yasuo. Vi has a lot of knockups. Yasuo likes the knockups, so that should lead to some very nice picks. Not much Syndra can do. I feel like what Deadly Lotus wants to do is just kind of burn the flash of the Syndra in the early game and then just kind of camp the living. Camp the Syndra, let's say like that.
Yeah. I love that idea. I'd love to see with the Yasuo a couple more knockouts from other people. You have the stun in Leona, but unfortunately, there is just a stun. There is no knockup on that champ. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Obviously, the Vi can provide some extra knockouts, but it is kind of just the Vi, as well as the Q3. We'll see what happens as we load in Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, We'll definitely see if they're going to be able to match it up properly with the knockups or not. Um,
No
Yeah.
5-man Diana ults then.
but
Do you see that
also,
in the LPL? That was
wait,
crazy
I'm
game.
sorry.
Uh,
I completely blanked out right now. I'm so sorry.
I remember Yasuo Game 5, they had Yasuo Diana recently.
Oh,
And then I got a 5-man knockup for a 5-man Yasuo. Oh, it's beautiful.
yeah. I mean, usually when you see a Yasuo in these competitive games, there is a lot more setup, like
Hmm.
something like a Kalista or a Nico or a Diana, like you've mentioned. It just makes the life of a Yasuo a lot easier. But
Having forced to hit that Q3, it's not easy. It's not
I mean,
easy.
yeah, you can't expect Yasuo players to hit the skill shots, you know.
It's the hardest champs in the game, though. So let's hope that we're assuming it's going mid. Let's assume DL mid lane can pilot this thing to its absolute limits because there's nothing better in League than seeing Yo and Yasuo, either of them, going crazy, spamming Q, spamming auto attacks, doing twice the damage they should be able to do. It's art form. It's art.
It is quite beautiful, and Icehound, the mid lane of Deadly Lotus, has shown quite the prowess on this champion throughout the last split. And I'm very sorry that I talk so much more about the players on the Deadly Lotus side, but we just have seen them play the last split actively, so there is just more information on there. But Icehound has proven throughout the last split that he is a very competent Yasuo player, and I'm very excited to see if INS Academy is able to shut that down or if they are going to fall to him.
Yeah, well, of course, it's much easier to talk about players you know, right? INS, to this point, an unproven quantity. We don't know what they're going to be like. They could be insanely good. They might not be. This is completely up in the air. We don't even know how they synergize as a team. We haven't been privy to their scrims. We can assume that they're scrimming, but that's kind of about it. So, you know, there's not much else to know. But as we load in now, the Summoner's Rift, we'll have a look. And it is, of course, that Aurora top that we discussed.
Yeah, we are finally in the game. We are seeing INS Academy.
5-man. And Vi's got to run away from those Raptors pretty fast.
I would have loved to see like some cheeky flash hook there by the Nautilus, but I mean I guess you just want to look for the one when I play it safe. They do get full control. Are they potentially
Are they looking for the
spot
swap?
Oh no!
No. First game of the season. It's games like this that make you glad they're getting rid of it.
Yeah,
When you're watching the pros, I'm actually a little bit sad that they're getting rid of the lane swaps because I do enjoy all the different variations and extra skill, both mentally and hands diff that it allows. But lane swaps.
I just do miss the classical top lane 1v1s.
And as we saw from that toggle vision, that ward should have been deep enough to give them vision that the bot side of DL has gone to top. Let's see what they can do with that information. As the Cassante helps with the clear for the Diego instead of going mid and getting some soak XP. They
Very.
choose to match.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna see normal. Oh, Cassandra TPing bot lane after the leash. That is. I'm not very well versed on the lane swaps. I will feel slightly confused when I see the different variations.
Yeah. He's missed a minute of XP there.
Is it common to leash into teleport bot lane?
I'm gonna go with no. I think that was a bit of a trick question you had me there, but I'm gonna go with no. It's not that common, but I have seen very often you get kind of the I'm gonna go play 2v2 mid lane and let one bot lane go free, but they chose to match into this lane. They want to have this Varus with the Nautilus into the Ezreal Azona, which is in itself a strong lane. So it's an interesting choice. I don't mind it, but at that point, that Cassante has to get the hell off those Raptors. He has to get down to the bot lane fast. That Vi's clearing down there, and he has to get all that XP, otherwise he is a threat to himself.
Yeah, I feel like Jojo in general here, the example, is in quite a lot of trouble here. He used the teleport already in a matchup that is quite tough for him anyways.
Absolutely.
And this could just be very, very hard for him to like even play the game. Especially, we are talking about a lot of these high leagues. There is
Oh,
I
nice
might
trade.
have. Oh, my fault. It's just a little bit of
Right.
trading with Visa. Tries to trade back. Nothing big happening here quite yet, but very nice try by Joe.
Absolutely. Interesting to see the Vi not actually go out there. Took the 5 camps instead of the full 6. Ended up on the Krugs. Cassante was starting to push forward in the lane. There was a chance, but chosen not to be taken. Fair enough. They still have their walls to go back to. And the bot scuttled up as well, but I wouldn't have minded a little look in there. Cassante might have been overreaching. Gone down to half HP, and I would also like to point out, he started on the Ghost here. Cassante has no flash. Like, he is as vulnerable as a Cassante can ever be. That is to say, not very vulnerable.
Yeah, it is still like a Santa, but I think I agree. I really would have loved to see a play here onto Jojo. Maybe trying to get a little pick, get a cheeky little play, punish that he doesn't have TP. I feel like if the Cassante dies here once, this could become into this could turn into such a great lead for Windsor. Like we've mentioned before, Cassante doesn't have teleport, so this Aurora would just be get out of hand so fast.
I mean, any minions you can force, especially XP loss. Money loss, you're kind of expecting that when you're melee into range, but any XP loss that you can force is absolutely huge. We're going to get a fight over this Raptor respawn.
Yeah, they are trying to fight it. Talon is supposed to flash sharp, and Ison is gonna go back in. It's gonna get hooked by the dredge line. They are just gonna walk away.
I mean, that's a great result. I think they who got the Raptors there? I think it was the Vi with the smite, no?
Yeah, I assume it was the YC just higher CS.
Yeah, I mean that's big. You sent 3 there. Your support was there first, and you can't force the play. That's big for DL to not lose out their Raptor respawn.
Yeah, then we're still happy they got the Raptors. Still also, nonetheless, a nice play by INS Academy. They got the flash out of the Vi, so they are still happy with that. Vi is not going to be able to use her very potent gank with the Q flash.
But speaking of which,
yeah, we are seeing a little bit gank here. Oppression is going forward. Flash and Dredgen's gonna get forced out of the Nautilus, which is gonna go out. Next Flash is gonna get burned. Everybody is out to safety, but 2 flashes burned by INS Academy.
2 flashes burned, but that Q on the Ezreal, he might not be able to stand around this wave unless the Vi's going to have to stay here. This is a tempo ruiner, somehow. That wave is humongous.
Oh, wait, they might be? Oh,
again, this Vi's forced to cancel. Syndra's coming up here, and
Yeah,
she's now stuck in the alcove.
Yeah, I mean, the Vi doesn't have flash. She's just gonna die. They're gonna try to give the kill to the virus. It's just gonna pick it up for free. First blood for INS Academy.
And free grubs as well. This turned in from a good little play. Force out both flashes out the bot lane in these Australian lanes, and suddenly it's turned into an absolute nightmare. Void grubs likely to go over to INS too. This is not as good as it could have been.
Yeah, I feel like they just kind of wanted a bit too much up there. The Vi dying there. She did cancel her reset by herself. She could have just went through with it, but I think Kjalan tried to look for the play here, and then he just ended up dying for it.
Yeah, it's such a difficult position because you're kind of forced to wait around while your Ezreal has that many caster minions to deal with, and then suddenly you're recalling in one bush too far forward, and you're just kind of dead. As you rightly point out, that is also first blood. So 1 objective, 1 kill over the side of INS Academy. A third of the way to each of those different feats of strength passives as the dragon goes the other way. So...
At least Daddy Lotus trades back 1 objective. We have talked about it that Daddy Lotus really needs to kind of snowball their solo lanes, which so far everything is kinda even. But oh no, the Vi might be caught once again.
This is greedy.
Yeah, very, very greedy and very soon this year's first get of the week. It's just gonna connect and it's gonna be a free pickup for Getty.
Yeah, it's an investment of the ultimate, but it's super worth it. Get that mid lane on the board, get her rolling. This Vi now 0-2. I don't mind the first death. You're there to protect your bot lane is in top lane. They had a massive wave to deal with. You couldn't abandon them. But that one there, trying to get yourself back ahead, and it's just a bit too much. Now you got a fed mid laner to deal with, and no one likes a fed Syndra.
Yeah, Fed Syndra it just feels so oppressive once the Syndra champion just gets like kind of into the game. They pick the Yasuo to like make sure she doesn't get fed for free, so they have the Windwall, they have all these utility options to play around that. But Hyalan just getting way too cocky, way too greedy, looking for that invade, and I feel like this is so terrible for the Vi as well. Like Viego, he just gets to farm for free. He didn't die quite a single time, has a 10 CS hit already, and Viego with resources can become
looking to gank
quite
top here.
scary.
He's doing a lane gank.
Oh, looking for the cheeky lane gang. It's just gonna stand in the brush. Let's see if I Crazy Fool and Oppression fall for it. I'm just gonna farm.
Lady Lotus seems to sniff this out. They terrified right now. They know the Viego's off the map, and they do not want to push up at all. Meanwhile, bot lane.
Oh, a little bit of a fight. The all out has been used, but so
Between worlds.
yeah, between worlds.
There he is.
Everyone is going out, but now yeah, I feel like he just just wants to get the wave pushed in. They potentially are looking. No, they're just gonna look for the crash on the wave. Vi's also here. They can't dive.
Yeah, this counter gank should be called off. Nothing much to do. Maybe some tempo cancelling, but not much else. Get some vision gone.
Yeah, I mean they're happy. Oppression, I Crazy Fool, very well respected that Viego can be there for the gank. They played it very nicely. They're very safe. They knew the job, and they did not end up dying to the gank, which the Viego lost a lot of time with that, which even gave the Vi the chance to be even up in CS again.
Absolutely. I'd like to draw your attention to the symbiotic shells and the Nautilus. I've been watching a bit of Casual myself recently. He is a massive proponent of these boots. They give you the fast recall. You run around a bit, you get even more move speed. It's kind of like the old Moby boots, the old mobility boots, but they're better. And love to see them being pulled out here, and especially for a support, right? Who doesn't want to place down? Who doesn't want to go back to base and get more wards?
Yeah. Well, I'm personally also a very big fan of it. I do agree. Oh, wait. No. Okay. Oh, wait. The Viego might be
a little bit ahead. It should be fine. Stinch got the scatter of the week there.
Yeah.
That was an odd auto.
Yeah, they're just looking at each other very menacingly.
As support's off to do.
So Portal Combat, as we know and love it. Yeah. This is most likely just going to be 3-6 grubs into the pocket of the INS Academy. But
I can look to snipe one, but if they queue over the wall, they're the blast going to get over.
We are gonna see what is happening. Oh, Leona is going forward. Yasuo
flash.
flashes. Beautiful ultimate coming out of the Yasuo. Combo goes onto Skype. The Cinder was not allowed to move and just got instantly one shot. Oppression wants to look for more, but the Nautilus is just gonna flash into the safety of his tower. On the other hand, we are seeing a little bit of a fight here in the bot lane, round between worlds. It's gonna get popped once again by Weenzer, but a play that the Lotus is very happy with.
Yeah, and on that bot side, oh, we're going for a dive here. No way you can do this. No way you can do this.
That's way too risky. Oppression taking so much damage from the tower is just
If he has a piercing arrow, he might be able to get Leona too. This is such a good play, and it's turned into such a not good play so fast.
Yeah,
flash over from the Aviego.
He really wants to buy, but is then forced to just dip away. Hyalan might try to look to trade back onto the Viego, but the kill is just gonna go into the pocket of the Barrow. Stretch line does miss. Hyalan is just gonna go into the tower. Oh wait.
If he waits long enough, he might be able to get an execute off here, but I think it's still is.
Yeah, it's an execute.
Well played.
Still horrible for Deadly Lotus.
But you also ruin a lot of their tempo, you know. Nautilus was forced to overstay, Varus was stuck between clearing the wave. Anyway, we'll go back into this replay, we'll see what happened. A great solar flare engage, knock up from the Yasuo, freebies. That Q3 was unmissable with that amazing stun right from Yurina.
That was very beautifully played, very beautifully layered. It was a very nice play until they went for the tower dive, but but yeah, they still got rough to deny the point in the feeds for INS Academy, so they're still quite happy with that gold lead. That gold is kind of completely low, but they are engaging onto the Nautilus. Just gonna get one shot, nothing he can do about it, and you don't want to be there.
Yeah, that's what happens when you miss a hook, and the person you're standing next, you're trying to hook is next to a wall. That Nautilus hook can be so much fun to grapple around the map. I feel like Spider-Man sometimes, but that there was I don't know any Spider-Man references.
I mean,
Damn.
I'm not like Spooderman.
maybe a Spider Pig.
Oh yeah, Spider.
That was unfortunate. Casante's just going to pick up a plate on the top lane. Going towards the Spirit Visage. We also got the Bramble Vest. That's an interesting choice into this Aurora matchup, no?
Yeah,
Bramble Vest
it's
selection.
It is quite weird, but also something I have to say is Jojo is playing this matchup absolutely impeccable. The Aurora pick, which kind of, in my, from what I know, should do very well into this Cassandra, is only even in CS, at some points even slightly behind. I don't think you are very happy with how this matchup in the top lane is going if you are a fan of Deadly Lotus, but Jojo... Oh,
Very
looking
Deadly Lotus
for
right now.
more beautiful
gonna come.
stun, ran between worlds. This... How can you ever kill an Aurora?
You wait for it to not have her ult. They could be looking for the dive here. Nautilus has his ult back up, but they're coming in for the counter dive and the counter gank. This is a very complex play developing here. Vi dodges around.
Very, very risky. Solar Flare is coming through, and Cassandra is just going to get one shot, but so is the Vi. Can Visa do enough damage with the support of Beautiful? Beautiful ultimate coming off the Ezreal, tagging onto both the corrupting chains, land onto the Aurora. She's just going to hop away to safety. No flash available onto the virus. He's just going to walk it off, and it is an even 1-for-1 play.
Yeah, a lot of nothing somehow happening there.
Oh,
Maybe something happening on bot side. If he hits that Q3, he's going for that ult. And meanwhile, oof, that was close both ways there.
yeah, it was very... I think a play in favor for the Yasuo since he did get the flash out of the Syndra, but very close to play and very nice try by Scabby. Oh.
We'll get back into it as we see the Aurora recall. Let's have a quick look at the items. First time it's coming through now. We have a Rage Blade from the side of the Varus. On hit selected. Interesting to see the Rage Blade. That's not a very common first pick item.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that be a first item in quite some time. It is a very, very interesting pickup. I mean, he is fighting a lot, so maybe the attack speed is the value that he's looking for in these fights. Maybe he thinks that is the thing lacking at the moment, but we are going to see how useful this item is in the next upcoming fights. Next objective is going to be at the Drake in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I feel like this Drake can mean a lot. This could potentially be the sole point for Deadly Lotus, so INS Academy really wants to contest this. Oh wait, the Herald is up. I am blind. The Herald is up before that. Never mind.
Yeah, well, on the topic of the dragons though, it's a fittingly fast soul point available. With it being the Cloud Souls, we see a lot of engagements going across the map.
Yeah, Windsor is just looking for the one shot of the Scappy. No flash available onto the Syndra since there has been forced to bottom. A beautiful solo kill. Also keep in mind, before that, the Solar Flare was burned in mid lane to force out the flash out of the Varus. So no flash from Varus for the next objective.
Yeah, I was moved away from that one. It didn't look like the Aurora was going to be able to get that kill. He used the full burst, but I guess his abilities must have come back off cooldown because he deleted like a third of his health bar at the end there.
I mean, that's your Aurora champion. If you ever step up, you are dead. Very well played by Windsor to secure the solo kill. This should lead to a rather 3 Herald. I know they're going to be still posturing to potentially
They
look.
have the TP on the Syndra. They can come back to this.
Syndra and Cassandra both TPing to the mid lane. Deadly Lotus is gonna get kind of forced out of it. We are seeing a reset. Yeah, they're just gonna drop it. There were 2 teleports committed. They were happy enough with that. They were able to reset the Herald to at least steal some time.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Herald resets the side of INS. You'd have loved to be able to take that free tempo, take that leash, down to only half HP. But they do have 5 fast resets for everyone now. Of course, the Nautilus doesn't need it because he has the best boots in the game. But everyone else can abuse that 4-second recall, get back onto the map with that tempo advantage. As the Dragon is now spawning in 40 seconds, as you rightly pointed out before, sole point on the table for DL.
Yeah, the big problem that INS Academy kind of has with this Drake is they kind of can't really do anything with the top lane wave. Syndra did walk up right now to push it out, but there's no teleports available on this side of INS Academy. So they are just gonna have to top push. So if Deadly Lotus wants to, they can just kind of drop the Drake. They don't need that that badly and can try to look for play in the upper half of the map since they do have the teleport advantage. But it looks like they're fishing for a little pick. They don't want to drop the Drake. They are going to look for the contest, which is also a very respectable decision.
Yeah, they might be able to get away with both here. The Aurora will clear that turret pretty fast at 1.5 items, and they're able to delay with the mid prio that they had. So it's going to force the Richard out now. Hopefully for INS, this should be a mid tier 1 going down. The Aurora does TP in though. We're going to have a clean 5v5 if they want to go for this dragon.
Herald is popped. The tower did not fall quite yet. It finally falls to the drops and the minions. God of the Week is just going to kind of push away the Leona. But this fight could start any second. Everything goes quite
so close to starting this fight off.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god, everything very, very close. Very on edge. Everybody kind of wants to go for it. Beautiful knockup and ultimate by the Yasu. He's going to connect off very much. Ground between wells. There's a lot of AoE. Syndra is the first one to fall. A lot of scrappy fighting. Nautilus is next.
Viego has a reset though.
Finally fall, but Varus dies. Viego kinda the last damage carry standing in this Jojo versus Wienzer. And as much as Jojo came out on top before in these trades, in these fights, this time Wienzer is the one taking the kill. Beautiful ace by Deadly Lotus, and they get the Drake on top.
Very well played. A lot of posturing going on there. I feel like if Leona hits either of those Zenith plays looking to engage, that's an even cleaner fight. Not a good place for INS to be fighting right now. They're not quite there yet on their carries, just the 1 items, but they kind of are forced into it. Those 2 early dragons going the way of Deadly Lotus, and they felt pressured into going. They overcommit, and they get rightly punished. A great team fight coming out here.
Yeah,
I mean, started off by that Yasuo.
Yeah, it was so beautiful by the Yasuo. You said before the game started you want to see Yasuo that plays it well. Here you have it, a Yasuo that can even land skill shots.
A rare sight sometimes, but that was absolutely beautiful. 3-man knockup going in, 2-man ultimate, completely cleared out the backline, and unfortunately I think it displaced the Varus away from his Chains of Corruption as well. Went a little bit high and wide on that one, and that's the potential fight turner that just wasn't there for the side of INS Academy.
This could be very dangerous now. This is the sole point for Deadly Lotus. INS Academy kinda need to focus up a little bit here. They need to if they fall behind a little bit more in this point, it can be quite neck breaking. We see a 4k gold lead for the side of Deadly Lotus, which is a nice amount, but not quite game ending yet. And so everything is still on the table. INS still has great scaling with the Syndra. If they get one very good reset on the Viego, everything can still change up. But the next dragon can potentially decide the fate of the rest of the game. But first of all, we're going to see what happens with
Oh, it's all out used down there. Aurora, not a great in between wells. She's kind of stuck here, but she managed to look at Sante. She's going to get both of them. Oh my god, what
beautiful
great
play by Wienzer.
He has made them look foolish. Such good play. I was a bit scared when he threw the between worlds halfway off the map. And we had more action.
Yeah, we see more fights. Flash burn out by the Syndra. Yasuo not gonna look for the chase, and they are taking the mid town.
Yeah, this gang looked so good, but it's a full dive coming in. Cassante used the all-out, loses half of HP before the turret can even do the damage, and then Viego has to try and dive with a charged-up turret. It feels a bit rushed there. They feel, to me, as if INS are on the clock right now. They're scared of this dragon spawning. They know that Atakan is on the map, and they don't really want this soul to be it for the game. They need to get some gold injected, and that's unfortunately not the way to do it.
Yeah, I feel like if they play this just a tad bit slower, if they link up and dive at the same time, this could have been a very great play for the side of INS Academy. But Cassante engaging before the Viego was even there properly led just to them basically forcing 2 1v1s under the tower, which is something you really don't want to do when you look for a dive.
No, it's not. As we see, full vision going to be gained here by Deadly Lotus. This Atakan pit has spawned on the map. Now we've reached that 20-minute timer. Is in their possession. Unlikely to go for it just yet. You don't need to force such risky objectives that will absolutely chew through any resistances that you have left over. So just going to push the side out of the jungle. But Nautilus is going down here. It's a free pick found in the jungle.
Casante might also be in a bit of danger. Xenoblade beautifully connected right between worlds, just gonna do so much damage. Viego
Wow.
might be next. Not even the tower is safe. So much damage coming out of Daddy Lotus.
Yeah, I feel like most of the damage that they took in that fight was from that turret as well. That was brutal, if I'm honest. Just the 4-man overplay down to the bot side, and it's completely worked out. Only the Nautilus, who's caught out in the jungle, Casante under his own turret. Chains of Corruption's going to land, but Aurora's well out of distance. Great use of that buffer E with the Unstoppable. That should be Atakan going over.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah, I mean, the Casante wanting to path maker forwards, and it's just not the right time for that. Really unfortunate to see. He tried to get the stun on the Aurora, couldn't quite get it in range. There is the Atakan going down. This is a huge buff now. They're going to have GAs for a Baron that spawns in the next minute. They have Soul in the next minute. How do you get back into this as INS?
And this is gonna be so hard for INS to come back. Especially like the early minute, like the early game looked so well for INS Academy. But it feels that throughout the game, they kind of started panicking and not playing together properly. I feel like the next fight is gonna be even harder because if you die with the Atakan, I might have to open
just send it.
Yeah, Xenoblade does connect, so does the Solar Flare. Nautilus is just gonna get one shot as there's nothing INS Academy can do. Oh,
Flash
beautiful
forward,
skeleton weave.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit far. You don't typically want to use your summoners when you have that Atakan GA available. You want to force summoners out from the other side so that when you respawn, you have the summoner advantage, you can win the second fight. A little bit crazy there from the support of Deadly Lotus, but it's still going to be absolutely fine. That Soul is going to go down. There's nothing really INS Academy can say about it. Oh, the Baron spawned in 7 seconds. They just run from bot to top here.
Yeah, they are just gonna walk up. Atakan, they still have it available, so it's not even that INS Academy can just force onto them. Even if they get a kill, they don't even get a reset since they don't die, which Atakan is such a strong buff against champions like Viego or Jinx that just kind of want to reset because you don't die. There is no reset you can gain if you kill an opponent with Atakan, which is such a strong tool against these champions. Ignoring all the tempo, you can just cheat with it. Baron, I don't think there's any way INS Academy can contest it, and I feel like they know it as well. They are now.
It feels like they're forced to. They're TPing in too late though. Viego's not going to be able to get near the pit. Couldn't even think of Heartbreaker over the wall, and this is now an engage angle again. The Nautilus lands to the slaughter right now.
Yeah, Nautilus is just gonna get one shot, and Deadly Lotus looks for more. Beautiful flash forward by Hyalan, double kill into the pocket of the Vi. Casante is next, and Scrappy has to look as all his teammates fall. It is the Syndra versus the entire might of Deadly Lotus. Windsor flashes forward and so much damage. It is an ace for no, as Deadly Lotus is looking to close out game 1 and win the first game.
Yeah, they want to get out of here fast. They are completely ruthless. That is the only word I can think that fits this situation. Didn't give INS Academy a time to breathe from the second they got ahead in this game. Constant aggression, great objective setup, and they absolutely crushed them.
Yeah, early game looked kind of rough on the side of Deadly Lotus, but as the game just continued, it felt like they just started to find their groove. Like with every minute that passed, Deadly Lotus just started to play better and better together and feel like a synergized unit. While on the other hand, INS Academy was just kind of falling apart. I feel like for the next game, if INS Academy wants to take a win in round 2, they need to stick together. They can't fall apart like this. They had some nice shining moments in the early game. They just need to stop panicking if things go a bit wrong and need to just stick together, play together, and I feel like that is their way to gain the upper hand in the second game.
Yeah, well, hopefully they can do all those things. It's going to be quite the mental reset they're going to be forced to do, but we will take it to a little break and we'll be back with game 2 when it comes.
and gentlemen, welcome back after this little break. I'm still Gloomy, still joined by the wonderful, amazing Rue. We are heading into the second game of Deadly Lotus versus INS Academy. And after this game, what do you think we can expect?
I think we can expect more of the same. I think maybe a better early game coming out from Deadly Lotus, maybe a better mid game coming out from INS, but based on how brutal that result was, I can only see this going 2-0, unfortunately. That was quite the smackdown they laid out through the mid game, completely destroying them on the map. Better rotations, better map movements, better use of teleport, if I'm honest. Basic idea, just completely pulling them everywhere they wanted to be, stacking up those dragons as fast as they could, and they got out of there in 26 minutes.
Also something that I would like to point out that Lotus did this game, which is quite rare to see in the SLE, is when they saw that INS is committing 2 teleports for the Herald, they just dropped it. They did not try to look for a cocky contest. So they've also shown throughout this game that they are able to drop an objective if it is too dangerous. They are not flipping it. So they just looked very controlled, very disciplined. Outside of the first 10 minutes looking at the buy, but outside of that, they looked very disciplined, very controlled, and like they knew what they were doing. And if they can keep up this tempo and keep up and know and draft in a way that they're able again to just properly play out for the strength and for the spikes of their champions, I also feel like it's very heavily favored. It's going to be a 2-0.
Yeah, well, I have to say, if you're going to engage like he did in that final fight, then you can play the first 15 minutes of Vi however you want. Such a good engage. The flash Q into the cease and desist completely destroyed them, knocked 2 of them up for the Yasuo. And, I mean, they were already ahead, but that was just the freest ace I think Deadly Lotus are ever going to get. Great engage going through. Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes in the game 2 draft when it comes through.
I'm very excited to see what the adaptations are going to be by INS. There's definitely things they need to ban. I mean, we can keep in mind the Vi was the second rotation pick in the game before, so it's not like she was picked early up. So INS can probably leave it open for the first rotation, or maybe look for a steal themselves. I think this time around, Deadly Lotus is going to be on the blue side. So there's also the flex picks and the counter picks are going to be slightly less effective on the blue side than they are on the red side, since the last pick is missing. But you can look for some potential power picks this time around. INS will most likely have to bend the Skarner. So
Yeah, I mean that is the crippling part of being red side right now, especially where here in the SLE we're not playing fearless draft. You can't just let the Skarner through for the first game and not have to worry about it for the later ones. That's a constant threat that you have to either ban or face a Skarner. And that's the thing that red side has to do every time. You know, you have to deal with it.
it's just crazy. With no matter how many times Skarner is getting nerfed, it is still a B1 champion.
Yeah.
But it's just a very oppressive champion, and the fact that he can just go through wall into hitting a free stun is just so oppressive. And especially if we look in the SLE, the vision setups are not as perfect as in for example the LCK, right? Which makes the Skarner even more valuable because you don't see where he's ganking you from. The jungle tracking might not be on the same level, and then the Skarner turns into an assassin because all of a sudden he comes out of nowhere and you one shot.
An assassin that brings the enemy team closer to the person that wants to kill them. It's a brutal champion to go up against. So I really hope that INS on the red side will ban it. As we get into the draft right now, let's see what DL choose to ban first.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? First side blue ban. It's gonna be Maokai.
I sadly don't remember if Deadly Lotus has banned the Maokai the game before. I assume they did, or maybe they are cooking something special. Luluban, I do remember that one. It has been banned by INS in the game before, so they are sticking same with that. But my eyes are on the bans of INS. I'm very excited to see how they're gonna adapt the draft.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't ban this Skarner, they're gonna have to make an adaptation, right? Because that's the thing. On blue side, you can threaten to just take it, but if they don't make that adaptation, then I'm scared for them. As that there's some of those Vi plays that didn't work out in the previous game. If that was a Skarner, those plays are working. He is getting those kills. He is tanky enough to survive some of those fights. As we're going to see another adaptation, it's going to be the Aurora ban. They didn't like that matchup in the end. Did way too much damage in the team fights.
Yeah, Aurora, as much as it struggled in the laning phase, it was very oppressive later on. I'm thinking maybe INS is gonna try to look for the leaving Skarner open strategy and then just picking 5 champions to counter it, the way the kind of G2 likes to approach it. But usually in the way G2 approaches it, Maokai is involved, which is a champion that has been taken away by Deadly Lotus.
Yeah, and usually the way G2 approach it is they have Broken Blade, Skewmon, Caps, Hans Summer, and LeBron. That's a good way to counter anything, in my opinion. Unfortunately, the names of INS or DL are not on that level, so we are going to see that Skarner ban finally being forced out. But the Callista's still up if it's wanted, but Karma's just going to be locked in straight away.
Yeah, Karma, very potent pick at the moment, which I have seen many scrims recently for the different teams with Karma just being in this level of play, being a completely absolute obnoxious champion. Deadly Lotus flexes it between mid, support, and I think top lane. So it is should be
everywhere.
a few-way flex. It's very obnoxious, very strong. Yeah, we see the Jinx as an answer into it, which there
It's
is a
odd
very
that you've banned your own Lulu for this Jinx.
one thing keep in mind: one champion that is incredibly strong into the Jinx is the Twitch. This champion is open, and the champion is very strong on this patch still. And I can also give the insight: there might be an ADC on the side of Deadly Lotus that really likes playing Twitch.
Well, let's see how much they like it when half of their ultimate gets reflected right back at them. Give me the introduction of Mel, who I absolutely love to hate. Such an interesting champ, such a amazing champ design, champ idea, but at the same time, can you please not send my whole damage right back at my face? I've worked so hard for this.
Personally,
Don't do this to me.
I really like Mel when she's on my team.
Well, yeah, naturally.
On the other, this champion has been nerfed quite a bit. Her win rate in the mid lane has dropped quite drastically. Still a very strong ADC champion as of recently, which is where she's kind of shining the most, at least in the solo queue ladder. But I would assume it's going to be a Jinx on the ADC position.
It'd be hard to suggest otherwise. Give me the Xin Zhao could be locked in here. I'm not sure how this fits in. This is quite a scattered comp, in my opinion. Not something you normally see. This kind of mixture of range and engage, and I'm interested to see how they synergize this with 4-5 because they're going to need something to gel this draft together right now.
Personally, I am a very big fan of the Xin Zhao pick here. Xin Zhao is very obnoxious for the Mel and the Jinx to play into, and Xin is one of the champions that just turn into an absolute machine once there's an enchant on the map. And we see the combo that has been picked up by Deadly Lotus. I do agree that with the Tristana, it is a bit of a weird mesh, but in isolation, I have to say I like the Xin Zhao pick.
That's fair enough. And Wukong taken into it. I kind of like this matchup from both sides. Wukong into Xin Zhao. No one really gets ahead. Both sides have incredible amounts of CC and engage. I'm interested to see how they can pilot this. Are they going to be the only engage on their team? I think if this is Deadly Lotus, if we're not seeing something like an on top, you're kind of forced to only have the Xin Zhao being your actual "we go now" button. Whereas, Jinx Rocket can always be used as just kind of a let's get some free damage out there. And of course, the clone into the Cyclone always goes hard.
Yeah, that is very dangerous. On one hand, Deadly Lotus is still able to flex the Karma around, look for an easy go button on the support role, or potentially look for something like a Nico in the mid lane, which is the go button, and then there are still possibilities for Deadly Lotus, but I do have to agree that so far INS Academy's draft is a lot more easy to execute, but it's something we've seen in the last game, where it kind of did not work out all well for them.
I keep forgetting this Karma's a flex. I'm used to this thing being a support-only champion. I mean, this for all we know, this could be a Tristana mid and Ezreal's going down bot lane with a Karma, and they're just going to bully the Jinx out of lane, make this Jinx irrelevant, and then who knows what's going to happen. But still, I'm still very interested in what they pair with this Jinx inside of INS. You got rid of your own Lulu, the one enchanter that you really enjoy having with the Jinx. I'm assuming they did that as a target ban. I was going to see the Braum pairing get denied. What do you want to pair with this Jinx right now? Are you looking for the full engage?
I personally, as much as it's gonna turn into a rather rough lane, I would love a Renata because it denies that they flex the Karma into the mid lane and pick something like the Nautilus. And it is quite nice into the Zin and the Tristana.
It's good disengage.
If you feel confident that you can survive your lane, if it is a Karma support, then I would really like the Renata here. On the other hand, it is a very rough lane, but it is no champion.
Yep, we have a missed pick. We will let you know what that pick is as soon as we know. But for now, we are just as in the dark as everyone else is. So, I mean, that could be literally anything. I'm assuming this will be discussed as this goes along, because it's a bit unfair to make Deadly Lotus pick if they don't know what's going on either. So, who knows what's happening? But it's going to be the Vladimir taken.
Oh, that's spicy.
I mean, that can also be flexed. These champs can be flexed anywhere right now. You got the Tristana that can go bot or mid, the Vlad that can go top or mid, the Karma that can go everywhere. It was a Rakan taken by INS, by the way. So Rakan paired up with a Jinx, leaving top as the counter pick. How do we? Oh, I don't know if I like that.
We still need big engage on the side of the Deadly Lotus, but oh wait, I don't know why my thought jumped. Yes, I also don't like that they blinded support. Yeah. I do prefer that they went for something like that. They just went for a safe top laner here, because last game, the way the bot lane just suddenly was like permanently there was a bit of a danger, a bit of a problem for INS, and I feel like if they just went for a support counter pick here, it would have been just so much more impactful, because we have seen the top lane of INS do really well in a bad matchup anyways. So why not just look for a blind pick again, weak at the top lane, just go even in lane, and then look to completely demolish this bot lane. I would have preferred much more to see that.
Maybe that would have been the plan if the Cassante didn't get banned. Maybe he's able to equalize a Cassante, but other tanks that you'd like to blind, maybe it's not as possible. Who knows? I mean, everyone has their own individual champ pool, right? So
that is fair enough.
but
No, I
yeah.
expect perfection and 100% champion pool mastery of SLE players. No, but yeah, that is a very fair point. I'm still a bit confused about the Vladimir. Might be a weird counter pick into the Vladimir champion that was picked in the LPL, I think, last week.
Yeah, it's usually quite a late rotation if it's ever taken. It's kind of like a game 4, game 5, right? What can we pick? What can we pick? Vladimir. And I mean, that's the beauty of Fearless, right? Firstly, love Fearless. Secondly, you can get away with these types of picks when you don't have the primary picks available, right? If 6 other laners have already gone, maybe the Vladimir's the best choice.
Funnily
But,
enough, the Vladimir was in the first game.
Oh, wow.
I was very shook by it. They played Pantheon jungle, Vladimir mid lane. I think it was LNG that played it. And no, it was the series that LNG played.
I need to catch up in the LPL.
They game 1 picked the Vladimir. But yeah, we are heading into a little technical pause here, as I assume there's some issues with the champ select with delays.
So we will be finishing the draft in client, as unfortunately it did break, but we will We will let you guys know what's going on as soon as we learn ourselves. In the meantime, we can talk about these first three picks still, as well as I believe the Rakan and Vladimir appear to be locked. It is just these R5 picks that we have to think about for now. And I'm still not sure about this Rakan Jinx lane.
I feel like, especially, I'm not that knowledgeable about support matchups, but I don't think it's very playable as Rakan into the Karma.
Maybe you take the sustain of the Q, and maybe that's enough.
Um,
If
I'm
you
not
hit those
sure.
gleaming quills, you can get that little bit of heal off. I feel like any time that Karma hits a mantra Q, it's just kind of do that but more back to you. So maybe that's their idea to get through this. You have all the shielding as well. Maybe it's not the worst, but I don't like the engage angles ever. You're not really going to find a way to get this Jinx too far ahead with this type of plan. Okay, so after the Vladimir, we had a Cho'Gath locked in, which we can assume goes top. Probably push the
There's still
Vladimir
a
to
double
mid.
flex.
Yeah, that's true. Caps, Caps. If no one else does play that Cho'Gath.
I also know Icehound, the deadly lot of mid laner plays. It's still a
Okay.
double flex.
Still a double flex. Oh no. I, and then okay, Gwen final pick for the side of INS. So that's got to be top lane, right? Don't tell me that's another. Please.
I assume it's top lane. Don't know as much about INS.
So okay, we have Gwen, Wukong, Mel, Jinx, Rakan on the side of INS, playing into a Cho'Gath, Xin Zhao, Vladimir, Tristana, Karma. Hopefully that does push that Karma down to the support, unless we got some crazy Cho'Gath support shenanigans going on. In
Look,
which case, this is too dank for me.
I think that Cho'Gath support would be a little bit too wild, even for Deadly Lotus. I can I can relieve you in that regard.
A
But yeah.
minor reprieve.
I would really love to see Deadly Lotus flexing the Vladimir into the top lane and playing the Cho'Gath mid, because as far as I'm aware, the Vladimir just has a much better time into the Gwen than the Cho'Gath.
Yeah, Cho'Gath into Gwen does not sound tasty. What does sound tasty is Mel for breakfast. Cho'Gath looking to devour our favorite arcane hero, and I
You
don't. Yeah,
you can't deflect the Devour.
no, you can't. That is a very short range gobble.
But yeah, I'm very excited to see how that one goes out. I'm also very excited to see how it works when Cho'Gath cues a Mel and Mel reflects that.
Is that projectile?
I'm not sure if it is a
I
projectile.
don't know.
Wait, I'm gonna do a quick research.
I mean, if that's a projectile, then hey, I'm terrified for what the Cho'Gath can do to himself. My main question that comes into my head: can you windwall it? I don't
I
think
don't
you
think
can.
you can.
So
No.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess that you can't. But also, of course, the Mel W does provide that invulnerability. If she would get hit, she can still press it, not take the damage, not take the knock-up, not get slowed afterwards. So it still has the escape tool, but maybe not the damage threat back onto the Cho'Gath. That'd be crazy if that could land.
It looks like Mel can't reflect it.
It's still a worthwhile use here. If you're going to get knocked up and probably get eaten as a result of it, probably the best time to use your reflect there. But yeah, we'll see how the rest of it goes. Not much for the Mel to really reflect here. As soon as it was picked, obviously the Khan was picked first. The only thing that you can really reflect is like what, a buster shot from the Tristana.
To send Tristana to safety.
Yeah, I mean, cheers. Thank you for the free ride. I'll see you. I'll see you next team fight. Yeah,
Yeah,
this Mel seems to be quite nullified.
Yeah, it was a very smart draft by the sort of Daily Lotus here. The moment they saw the Mel, they just pivoted into picking champions that make it very hard for the Mel champion to play. As much as the champion still has some strength, her Q is still quite obnoxious. She did get nerfed quite a lot, so I feel like picking Mel this early is putting you at quite a risk, because if you don't have these very big value reflex, something like an Encore, it is a very rough spot to be in as the Mel. With yes, you still get you still don't take damage for a short period of time with W, so you can at least use it in a defensive manner like this, where you just block damage. I just feel like most mages in a spot like this would be a lot more useful.
Yeah, I mean, you still have to obviously worry about that ultimate, which is terrifying when it hits. I've seen that thing delete people from full HP, especially tanks. Something this Cho'Gath might have to worry about. Maybe the Cho'Gath goes AP, maybe it doesn't matter because he's not going to have much health. But I've seen that health bar get absolutely destroyed just from the amount of stacks that get added up over time. And then that ultimate with the execute coming through. But we'll have to see what happens when we load into Summon's Rift in a second. Here we go.
Are you a
Look at that
wizard?
timing. Look at that
Oh
timing.
my
Oh,
God.
love that.
Yeah, but we are seeing it for Vladimir mid lane, Cho'Gath top. We see that Hail of Blades picked up, which could indicate the Chevalier's first item on the Cho'Gath, a very common build at the moment, which makes the champion quite obnoxious. But yeah, wait, can Mel just reflect the Vladimir Q3 and just heal herself?
I honestly have no idea. I'm not like Vladimir is one of my weak points as champion knowledge. I've seen it happen a couple times in pro play. I ban it when I play anything that isn't bot lane because I hate playing against the puddle.
I feel
So-
that so much. I feel that so much.
Other champions I can deal with, but when there's just a puddle, it's like Fizz as well. I can't hit you. I can't even see you anymore.
Where's the interaction?
Yeah, I just want to have a friend. Yeah, we'll see. Looks like normal lane's gonna be coming out here. Jungle gonna be starting pretty default. Gonna be clearing top to bottom for both sides. As yeah, normal lanes.
Yeah, no leash into teleport by the top lane this time around. But yeah.
Aye.
We see this is the very big strength of the Hail of Blades Cho'Gath. It is quite lane bully, which a lot of people underestimate. You just pop E and just get 3 auto attacks out instantly thanks to the buff. The Hail of Blades has been buffed, I think, this patch, last patch, which is a very strong.
Move speed, right?
Yeah, it's just very strong rune, and you're trading. There's very little very little champions that are actually able to trade against Cho'Gath in the early game at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like he's got the push as well. Top lane, he's got himself the level 2 first. As we all see, level 2 taken first by the side of Deadly Lotus. Just going to be pushing in the bot wave, force the Jinx to hit some under turret stuff. Nothing too crazy going on across the map, but a pretty default start. We'll see what happens when the junglers really get onto the map. It looks like both sides just going to be taking their normal full clear. Maybe having a fight over the Scuttle Crab since they're both going top to bottom. We'll find out.
We have one thing I'm very worried about for the side of Deadly Lotus, which I think can be a very strong point for Ionist Academy, is that we saw last game Deadly Lotus really likes to play for these Drakes. And it's gonna be very hard to fight for the Drakes if your mid lane champion is Vladimir.
That's true. I think this Mel, another upside is her wave clear. Especially as this game's going to go on. Her wave clear is only going to get better. Those side lanes are going to be terrifying. For the mid lane right now already. Oh my god, that trade by the Gwen. But like, mid lane already, the Mel's going to have enough push to kind of hold her own if nothing else. And I mean, if she can force the Vlad out of lane, that's just even better.
Yeah, I'm quite perplexed that they play the Vladimir in the mid lane. I still would have very much loved to see the Vladimir in the top lane, but I'm pretty sure Deadly Lotus had something in mind for it. Or maybe they just got a little bit cocky after a very decisive win in the first game. We are gonna see how it evolves, how it goes. But now we're gonna see potentially a fight around the Scuttle Crab. Nox is just gonna move away, going to the top Scuttle, no fighting.
Yeah, I
And it's
believe
just gonna be-
Wukong got spotted by the Scryer's Bloom. They got thrown out by the Xinjiao. Someone hit. I saw him had eyes over his character there. So he knew he got seen. He's just going to go grab that Scuttle Crab, grab his Raptor respawn, which is already up as well. Starting Raptors feels so good when you're able to get the top Scuttle back, because it is right there. So much XP gained as well. But that respawn of the Raptors always tastes so good.
Yeah, I mean, everything is quite nice, quite peaceful. Everyone's happy. We see trades going in favor of the Joker from the top lane, but I'm just gonna look for a reset. I don't feel much action is gonna happen until the first objective is gonna be contested. Even then, potentially not. Maybe we just see a trade Drake for Raps, and we just not gonna see action until minute 15. Which, who do you think wins the long game in this matchup? Like, if we look at both drafts, which team you think is gonna scale?
It is hard to overlook the scaling of a Jinx and a Mel. You know, Jinx, well known for scaling into games. Both of them have the arcane buff still well and truly available. And if you get a single reset on this Jinx, it's going to be difficult. Tristana has enough scaling to be used as a mid laner, also very powerful. But I think this key note in the matchup overall is going to be this Gwen. How much value can this Gwen get in a teamfight situation?
Yeah, I think I would agree with you that INS is kind of having the better scaling. One thing I would be worried about for INS if it comes to the late game, there isn't that much like hard and easy CC to just lock down the Vladimir. Like, I feel like if the game gets long enough, this Vladimir is able to go on a rampage. But I don't think this Vladimir should ever be allowed to get to this point of the game.
I think that's probably true. I mean, the thing with Vladimir is they always gets around the kind of 4,000 HP mark. There's the type of AP items they build. All of them have at least a Ruby Crystal in their build path somewhere. As we all see that prophesized Drake for Grubs trade that we all didn't want to see. Unfortunately, befalling our screens.
Right, we are just seeing very boring trading. Drake for Grubs. No, not much action anyways. We see a very nice CS lead for the Tristana. I mean, that's some action going on there.
Yeah. A whole 5 CS, 6 CS right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy, no?
Yeah, I mean, the wave is under the side of the Jinx as well. This could be dangerous. They know they just took the dragon. You have to be careful of this Wukong. She's walking up to this wave like it's free right now. Unfortunately for the side of INS, the Wukong hasn't already come down. Going in now, this is a 2v3.
Yeah, Nox is here. This is a very dangerous position to be in.
He has a Cyclone as well.
Used by oppression, was maybe a little bit early. Barrier is going to get fast, so is that flash. Nice heal is going to come through, but not enough. So much damage coming out of the Monkey King. First blood once again for INS.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw that happening as it was in its pre-development phase. We knew INS had just taken that Drake. Both sides knew that INS had just taken that Drake. And that's a very greedy overstep. There's not much you can do to save that wave, unfortunately. I mean, if you don't do that, I guess you're getting frozen, but now you're getting frozen and you're dead. So I know which one I prefer personally.
Yeah, it's.
Are they gonna stop the back? Oh, they are. Nice cue.
Yeah, maybe
We're forced to stay now. The jungle's gonna be meeting topside.
Oh yeah, very nice instinct by Nox to be here. The question is if he's able to stop. He's going to get forced to flash out. He didn't have the Devour available. It's just...
He had no mana either.
Yeah, once again, very questionable early game by the side of Deadly Lotus.
They seem to be taking this early game a little bit for granted sometimes here. Nothing can be taken for granted in any League of Legends game. It's not always the best side that wins. Sometimes it's the better chemistry. Sometimes the better champions, right? Draft cannot be understated in its importance.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, there's some coaches that say like draft is what 80% of the game. I'm not sure with how much I agree with that. It is 80%.
it's got to be up there though. It's so valuable.
It is very impactful. But I also think it's a very good cope if you are a player and you're having a very bad game. That you just go like, it's drafted, whatever. You know, it's very good coping.
Yeah, well, it's always easy to blame someone else. Sometimes you got to take that on yourself, but if you've got the inferior team comp, it can be difficult to fight these games. But I think this one here is nicely poised, nicely balanced, and it will be decided by the players on the Rift. That's always what you want.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're showing the
Big
gold
first
here.
items coming through soon. Vladimir's going to be very close, actually. Up to 3.3 overall. He's going to get there.
Vladimir's somehow having a gold lead in this lane, which
He hasn't even got a plate. Where has that gold come from? He is 0-0-0, and he has one less. Where has he got the money? What necromancy buys you cash?
I'm thinking it can't be the cashback room because that's on legendary items.
Yeah.
Maybe he missed caster minions and hit cannon minions and Mel the other way around.
Maybe
But yeah,
this Gwen's got to run. She popped the ghost, but it might be too late. R3's going to come through. Just going to get absolutely eaten by Wiesner.
beautiful
And-
devour.
Yeah, and it looks like that will be the battle song coming through as the mana regen crystal is picked up. So yeah, you were quite right to point that out. Soroda's battle song likely to be the item of choice from the Cho'Gath. We're going to see this gank once again. Gwen using her immune, and then unfortunately can't dash away from the knockup. Pops the ultimate, pops the ghost, and just completely dived on.
And there isn't much you can do. I feel Jojo kind of a hater against the flash summon spell. I mean, on Gwen it's a bit more common. But we are seeing more of a fight going on. A beautiful knockup is going to connect onto the Rakan. He's
Lovely
just going to
Rakan
get
play.
dashed out, but Cyclone is going to get forced
TP
out.
top
here.
invested.
Top lane teleport, Chirelia's giving a lot of movement speed, and that's a kill into the Vladimir. And you're very happy with giving kills into the scaling champion.
And he already had a cosmic drive before that play as well. That Vladimir is now even more accelerated. Gwen should be looking to go back soon, but this it looked so nice, especially this Rakan disengage early, but then the TP just to the top lane. Vladimir picks up the free kill. Rakan just stuck in the middle of nowhere. As we go back to live, and there's not much to do for INS right now apart from hope to scale, but you're scaling into 6 grubs.
Yeah, scaling into 6 grubs and the Vladimir with some dark magic that can cheat out gold, so be careful about that.
I'm still trying to work out where he's got it from. He's got phaser. It's not like he's got like a first strike that he's getting free money from.
I mean, my theory is still that it's just the value of the minions with failed
It must
last
be.
hits. Yeah.
It must have been. There's no other way you can get that much of a gold lead from having equal CS. And we'll be picking up those items now. We see the Yuntal picked up from both ADCs. Interesting to see, you know, it's appearing a bit more commonly than it used to. Now it's received some buffs after its initial release. I do like it as we see a little bit of a fake engage coming through.
This should just be a nice dragon picked up. Cyclone is not available quite yet for the Wukong. Is potentially still looking for a steal. I sound very low. But
3v4s. I mean,
they're
they're both in the pit. This is a smite fight. Down to 1
Smite
HP.
failed. No, it was so close for Nox. Cyclone's finally gonna come up, but Ison is in their backline, getting a kill onto the Rakan. The
Let's get
Wukong
knocked
is
out.
gonna
Jinx reset.
fall. Yeah, Jinx is now very much excited. Gappy is just gonna flash out. Ultimate is not gonna kill anyone.
That was a
Why-
late barrier.
Oh, and Gwen got
When?
solo killed.
Yeah, don't know how that happened, but the Cho'Gath is asserting dominance. Another Devour used, and another Gwen dead.
Kjalan? Are they gonna die?
Are they? Aren't they? Is a huge question right now. Everything seems to be so close to happening, and Mantra.
Oh my
That
god.
Mel is so low. I mean, if that Xinjiao went back, it's nearly a free kill. One win becomes lightning will do it. We're gonna see this dragon fight again. This it's so low, down to 2, down to 1. The jungle pet can't finish off the dragon for you. So close to getting it done. Jinx does get 1 reset in play, but it's at the cost of 2 of her teammates. And we also saw the late barrier invest there from Oppression. I think a single tick more damage from the Mel would have procced that execute, would have forced the barrier to come out before it would have been their death. As you can see, another good trade coming from Cho'Gath, and unfortunately for the Gwen, unable to use those stacks to a good effect, and it's just going to be more free damage coming in. He's
Wait,
gonna
is
take
that a
the-
solo
He's
kill?
just going to get the freebie. I don't think he got the stack from that. I think he was a little bit above the execute, but that true damage was absolutely vile.
This Cho'Gath is popping off, and he might be in a little bit of danger now. I think he's a bit too healthy for Nox to do anything. Yeah, he's just gonna use the recall, and we also see, yeah, he has the void boots again. They do have the feats of strength.
I think
but wait,
he
Vladimir
has to dive to
diving.
Jinx as well. I mean, it's Puddle, right? What you gonna do about Puddle?
It's-
He can just go in and out whenever he wants.
he did force out both summoner spells off the Jinx. There was nothing this Jinx can do against it. This is...
Hey, man.
It,
I love that we're getting some more lore about him. Him LeBlanc is so cool, but I hate him. That is insane. The
No,
Void
I mean-
monster just devours the little girl in the top lane.
Oh, yeah.
See
Shalom,
the Crescent Guard coming out. Smite fight goes down.
he wants to look for the fight, though. Beautiful knockup coming off the Rakan and the
Huge
quick
ulti
doing
Jinx.
so much. Jinx is excited, not anymore, but she got a nice shot down. Pressure might be a little bit danger, but beautiful Buster shot is potentially gonna get her to safety.
Good flash.
Forced to flash the sap. So the only one dying is the Zinzao. Maybe a little bit too cocky. Nox might be looking for more. No, but yeah, a bit too cocky on
It's
this
happening
side.
again,
Oh,
isn't it?
wait, no, not again.
Okay, can we give this Gwen can we give this Gwen like a reset, like a chrono break? I feel like we need to go about like 15 minutes to the point where the Cho'Gath isn't selected in Champ Select. This Gwen is like, this is the most unfortunate top diff that there's nothing to do about. As we're going to see a greedy recall from Icehound. Very well punished by Nox.
Yeah, beautiful punish then. I feel very
This is the cost of the
stupid.
tier 2.
Do want to say I feel very stupid that at the start of the game or at the draft, I was talking about how I wish it was a Cho'Gath game because I feel like it's gonna be a hard matchup.
I mean, this is the thing, right? The Gwen has no reflect button. They can't stop the Devour from just coming in. They can be immune, but if he's going to devour you, he's in range of that immune anyway. He doesn't care. Or at least the Mel has a chance of survival with these insane tower dives that he's just able to pull off by walking at them.
I mean that is the strength why you go the Shiralius onto Cho'Gath. There is not much you can do when this very ginormous monster runs at you at the speed of a Lamborghini.
Ferrari peaking added to League of Legends. We thought it was a Counter-Strike exclusive, but not anymore. See, a nice little trade here. Just going to be taking away good Rakan shield. I don't think the Xin Zhao's allowed to be here, though. Going to be locked down.
Yeah,
Crescent Guard invested. Should be able to escape.
it was the quickness traded with the crashing card. I mean, just an evil old trade, but Drake is about to come up, so there is no quickness available for the Drake. But I think
You are a sneaky man.
oh, beautiful flash by Crazy Food. It's gonna get him to save. I close.
Cyclone so close. Can he get the
Must have-
second proc? Doesn't do enough.
They INS looks
Went
like
back in.
panicking. Oh, here comes the Cho'Gath. Oppression is gonna get one shot by the Mel, but what can they do against the raid boss that is this Cho'Gath? He's just gonna-
How have they got a solo kill in the middle of a team fight? Sorry. What is this champion? Mel has just got a solo kill in the middle of a team fight on the enemy ADC from out of nowhere. Unfortunately, Oppression not able to press the barrier this time. And just absolutely deleted, but it is still going to be the Dragon taken off the board. No threat of the Mel ult available. And it's going to be free TP top as well. Going to deny the counterplay across the map. Are you going to look for the all-in here?
ISO potentially looks at this. Gwen is very weak right now. No flash value,
Ulti
she does
invested
have
both
to
sides.
go, so but Jojo is gonna try to trade back with it. Ison is just gonna take it as a little trade, not wanting to overextend this fight. Just gonna take the wave, is happy with it. But I still have the problem with INS got a free pick onto the Tristana. Hyalan was completely overextended, and they still were unable to do anything against the Cho'Gath and had to give the Drake. What is INS supposed to do throughout this game to defeat this Void Abomination?
I honestly don't think there's much to do right now. This is Cho'Gath's peak in power in every game, right? If he gets ahead, this is where the Cho'Gath is strong. When you suddenly start reaching your full build, maybe there's some wiggle room, and he just eats a free minion. But, I mean, we're going to get to the point soon where he's just going to be... His smite's going to be better than anyone else's as well. He's getting... His side lane XP is crazy right now. He's got a 2-level lead over this poor Gwen. As we're going to see the quickness invested.
Beautiful engagement, double knockup paired up with the beautiful Cyclone. Commerce is going to get
Flash.
one shot since Sao gets to safety. But this is kind of the story of the game. Deadly Lotus getting way too cocky in the enemy jungle, but still winning thanks to Cho'Gath.
Yeah, I mean, that Cho'Gath has hit a third item. We're going to see this again. It looks okay at the start, but suddenly there's 4 players of INS compared to just the 2. On the side of DL, and they're forced to disengage as fast as the engage came through. A couple of flashes burnt there as well. Vladimir and the Xin Zhao both forced to get out of there. Speed of light.
Yeah, it's kind of. I feel like this is the only way that Deadly Lotus can like lose this game if they just continue to do this. There was a point in the game, like around minute 12, 13, 15 in this type area, where it felt like Deadly Lotus was. Oh no! I have
So speedy Cho'Gath.
Gappy is just.
And the reflect timer come through.
Yeah.
Oh, baited out. It's so rude, especially when you're not under the tower. You can just stand there and wait for them to press the button, because they have to press the button, because otherwise they die. Oh. That's rough.
It just feels so vile when you get solo killed by a tank, you know?
Yeah, it wasn't even close as well. That's the worst part. Mel didn't even get time to counteract. There's going to be the Gwen TPing in to save the bot tier 2, but unfortunately that might ruin their play on this Vladimir that was brewing.
Yeah,
He's just going to walk up now and take the free top lane.
I feel like INS is just kind of panicking once again. They use abilities and some of the spells without thinking all that much. They just click and...
Oh, that's a sweet drift. He has a driver's license.
I don't think he has, but that is inside
he has
information.
he has his driver's license after that. He can do whatever he wants.
Give him a truck.
Yeah, let him loose on the roads. That's lovely. Take it from the bot tier 2 straight to the mid tier 2. Another tower down, and they are expanding this gold lead, which had contracted due to that overextension. They're pushing it right back out, and this, as you say, seems to be the story of the game. They take an advantage, and then they get pushed back a little bit. That seems to be kind of a one step forward, two steps back right now for INS Academy.
They just really need to hope for Deadly Lotus to just keep on making these mistakes of completely overextending in the jungle, because that is kind of the way that Deadly Lotus can throw this game away. This game is completely in the hand of the blue side team as of this point. The problem is that this Vladimir is very close to the Rabadons, so even when they overextend in the enemy jungle, it is going to be a lot harder to punish Vladimir with the Rabadons, but they might look to catch him out right here.
Has gone deep here.
Yeah, they're just gonna engage onto him. A lot of damage going back onto Jojo. There's nothing he can do as Isound is gonna get knocked up by the Cyclone. Rakan is here as well. This time around, beautiful knockup.
700 health healed.
It was very nice try by Isound, but it's just mass over quality. But
That's what happens. You send 3 people bot. Your objective control disappears from the map. And sure, you might be able to get the prio for this dragon when it spawns in 16 seconds, but I mean, is this worth it? You send 3 players bot and you lose the Atakan. Sure, you get the kill, but it took ages because that Vladimir healed 700 health, by the way.
He doesn't.
You don't even get your. Yeah, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I think I interrupted you. That you should talk.
No, you go for it.
Yeah, I wanted to say he doesn't even have the Rabadons yet.
Yeah, that's scary. After all that, they don't even get the dragon. It's going to be Infernal Soul on the map in 5 minutes time. The one saving grace right now for INS is this Jinx. This Jinx looks strong.
The problem is Jinx is an ADC and 25.
That's true. There is a Cho'Gath and Dead Man's Plate on the other side of the rift.
Yeah, there might be a slight issue. But yeah,
if any ADC could 1v5, I think Jinx has got to be up there. One reset in the fight and suddenly everything gets obliterated within an instant.
Yeah, I feel like if they can stall out the game a little bit longer, if the Mel gets to her 2 of the items, if the Jinx gets a 3rd item, that is kind of the part where they can possibly look to get something back, because the Mel gets an easy reset for the Jinx, and that gets her excited, but Windsor is on the hunt. Jojo!
Come on, they have friends and family, don't do this.
Poor Jojo.
Level 16 Cho'Gath, 6 kills. 228 CS, most CS in the game, as well as completely dominating the scoreboard right now. This Cho'Gath probably has like a Heartsteel on back, He is completely unbalanced right now in this game. He is untouchable. As it's going to be the nice engage.
It was a beautiful quickness. It's just gonna force out the flash of I Create the Fool and the heal. Nothing more they're gonna gain from it. Next wave is gonna come in, and Windsor almost has this Devour up again on fashion, looking for a little bit of a split push in the mid lane. Wukong might look to collapse, but Sinzao is here to defend it. On the other hand, top lane is just gonna look for the disengage. Nox has to leave as Yalan does defend oppression. Then might just look to set up the Baron with all the lane push that they have.
Yeah, Atakan will just fall off, so not the best timing to be looking for the Baron. Maybe if they'd been able to wait an extra minute, they could have done something else. But I'm very interested to see how many stacks this Cho'Gath has right now. It feels like he just ate another Wolf Camp as well. So he's got to be up like near 10. He's got 2k on this. He must have. What's he going? Is he going a Heartsteel?
I don't think you ever want to go Heartsteel this late.
Maybe just go Warbogs.
Yes.
You know, I think you just want the same stuff, right? So yeah, there's the Warbogs.
Yeah, there's the wall. Yeah, there's the Warbogs in one go. I mean,
4 items of Cho'Gath.
Oh my god, that is absolutely criminal.
Yeah, and it's 4 items of Cho'Gath ready to fight over this dragon. Rakan gonna have to grand exit his way out.
I feel like the moment this Cho'Gath is on the screen, everyone just has to run. It's like a Godzilla movie, you know? But, oh no,
Someone
Jojo.
didn't run fast enough.
Jojo on his bizarre adventure is just. Oh, Windsor's leaving. He's showing respect. He's letting him live, I guess. But oh, we see a little bit of fight around the red buff. No red buff seen here. Oh, Gwen is just gonna get eaten again by the Cho'Gath. Helen's gonna flash out towards I Pretty Food, but oh, beautiful rocket!
Lovely W over the wall. That was beautiful, by the way. He left the clone behind, went chasing with the Cyclone second prop. Trades, I guess. I mean, you're never saving the top lane. This Cho'Gath is untouchable right now in a side lane, but he will be able to chase and get that trade back. Oh, that Crescent Guard just bought so much time. Love that. Great time. It's instant. I thought he flashed it in real time. He's so fast. I saw the clone left behind him. And I guess the idea of Wukong, he plays tricks in your eyes, but that was speedy.
Nice. A very, very nice pickup by INS to just get the catch on the Sinzao, but
how do you deal with this?
I genuinely don't know. I mean, Jinx is getting close to her mortal reminder.
I feel like that is the only way that INS get back into this game, right? You have to find a way to kind of like 5v1 this Cho'Gath without losing the rest of the map too hard. Because I don't think 4 is going to be enough right now.
Yeah, if you get this shutdown somehow into the pocket of either the Gwen, I mean, I think the Gwen is too late. Either the Mel or the Jinx, this is what can catapult you back into the game. This is a 1k shutdown. If this Mel or the Jinx get it, this could be catastrophic for that Lotus.
It could be.
Oh, Kjallan once again getting
nice
caught
quickness.
out. Beautiful engage coming out of Ogalax. Nothing he can do. He's quite tanky. Maybe there's
So
something.
tanky.
Oh my goodness. But the Jinx
Oh,
is getting us. Oh no, there's the choke. He's so bad.
And gobble gobble. It's like watching Jaws. This man is just terrifying.
He's just killing everyone. Oh, we
You're
have
sent
seen.
flying. The Jinx got knocked out by the Cho'Gath. No, run! Run! Can the Mel get? Oh, the Mel has no ultimate. If Mel had ult, maybe the Cho'Gath dies there.
Oh,
I was going to see the Wukong get popped by the Vladimir as well. It is not just this Cho'Gath right now, but it is also this Cho'Gath right now. My god, 8-0-1, and he has to be alone in a side lane, and everyone has to be there right now. As it's going to be Infernal Soul picked up, and they're going over to the Baron. This is looking rough for the side of INS.
the problem is now we're also slowly but surely reaching the point that we've talked about at the start of the game. Once this Vladimir reaches late game, there isn't much to do to stop him. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how unorthodox it might have been. Maybe it was. I'm considering something like, is it worth a Blade of the Ruined King Jinx to try and get through these tanks? Because, I mean, she is doing her best, but I don't think I noticed the Cho'Gath lose any HP that fight.
Yeah, I mean, they got the Baron. nice and needy. The problem is the Cho'Gath was down to half health after the entire fight after face tanking for
Oh, that's
40
cute.
seconds. Okay.
That's cute. You nearly did most of his health. That's nice.
Yeah, you went for half of it. Okay. They're trying their best.
It's it's such a tough position, and this really sets them up right with the Baron. They can siege, and because they have such a big side lane threat, they can either completely overload the one side with kind of like a 4-1 massive split, or they can just go 1-3-1, play it safely all through all three lanes. You're not getting onto this Vladimir when he has the puddle available. And this Cho'Gath has something like 9,000 HP in his bar, including that Kaenic Rukken shield. So you send everyone else through the mid lane, and he can just kind of do whatever he wants.
Oh, the Wukong is forced to cyclone out of it. Jojo trying to poke a bit onto Ison, but he's just gonna heal all of it. Oh no, Windsor alone. Yeah, we see Jojo being picked up in the top lane on the bot side. We see they trying to
They
finally
invest
get a
3
pick up.
people in. Can they get the
They killed
Cho'Gath?
him. They killed the Cho'Gath. The monsters died, but at what cost? As Betty Lotus is looking to take the Nexus Tower, can they potentially look to end the game to split
They
their
can.
focus? I don't think that INS Academy can properly stop them. The reflect has been used by
So many Baron cannons as well.
Tower has been taken off. Oxford flashes forward. It's just gonna get popped by Oppression. A nice sound. As Oppression jumps forward, Jinx getting killed next. Vladimir finally falls, but after an incredible performance by this Cho'Gath, the second win goes into the pocket of Deadly G. 2-0, complete dominance.
Yeah. It took a little bit longer, but I think that's only due to the fact that there was a dragon taken this time by INS. They went 8-1 on the dragons throughout the series, and this game it bought them 5 more minutes than it did in the first game, but that was just as brutal of a game 2 as the game 1 was. Don't be mistaken, folks. That was nasty.
The first game felt a lot more ruthless, and the second game it felt nasty what the Cho'Gath did. It felt wrong to watch this, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they had such a tough time getting through half of his health bar, as you pointed out. Some of those team fights, I'm hurt. I have one more. I'm fine, actually. And it's just every time you think you're doing something to him, he comes back even bigger than he was before. Another item bought on base, and then what are you going to do? You're going to send 3 people down bot? Okay, you killed the Cho'Gath. Well done. Your base has died. Was it worth it? You got 1,000 gold onto your meld, but you can't use that because your Nexus exploded.
I mean, at least they got a little bit of stat padding in at the end, huh?
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, I mean, a very, very dominant performance by Deadly Low. The second game, I feel like as a team, they didn't have this very clean and crisp macro they showed in the first game, but there was just it just felt like the players were better in the second game. Throughout the first game, it just felt like Deadly Lotus was a lot smarter on the map and the way they moved, their precision, how crisp everything was. And then the second game, it just felt like, yeah, we're just 5 better players, and that's how we win. So they showed us multiple styles of playing, I guess, but it's still a very good early games, both games, on the side of INS. So it's not like they got completely trashed throughout both games. So if you are a fan of INS Academy, there is still hope. It's just the first week of the SLE against, and keep in mind, Deadly Lotus was the SLE finalist last split. So nothing to worry about. INS can still make it fine great. They had shown great potential with their early games, and yeah, very excited to see how the rest of the split is going to evolve.
Absolutely. As you point out very rightly, it is that first game. You are playing against one of the better teams in the league. And there are a lot of positives to take away too. You know, you had some very solid early games. You had some interesting draft ideas that I'm sure against some of the other teams definitely could have worked. Those scaling comps will work if you don't get completely destroyed during the early mid game like they did today, unfortunately. But that is unfortunately all we have time for today. 2-0 and out of here in the best of twos. That's what happens. Even if it's 1-1, still going to leave it there. But hopefully that's enough League of Legends for all of you. As I suggest you turn your eyes to the LEC if nothing else, because that stuff is great right now.
Bye, everyone.